Got him. Alright. Send tweet. Send Discord message. Yes. Is that... Okay, it's going. Yeah. Okay. Does that look okay? I think it looks okay. Wait, it might actually have exactly 1 pixel out of place. Oh, that's annoying. I'm watching you and Mr. V stream simultaneously. Oh, Vosh is streaming? I did not know this. I'll probably catch his stream after this, if I'm being honest. There's definitely 1 pixel at the top of that. Wait, shit. That's not the right one. Don't you know it's January 6th? Yes, but I don't know. I did know that. Get out of here, intro screen. I got shit to do, like play Smash Bros. And talk about things. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Apparently the joint session is going on right now. It's an anniversary to the takeover that happened anyway. Yeah, it's I remember I watched that live. 3 years ago. And I guess I'm gonna have to talk about that at some point. Of course, the whole January 6th business. Alright. The Forest. Back in the day when I was oblivious to politics. I've been following politics since right after Trump's first electoral victory in 2016. That's when I got interested. I only really and for most of my political life I've been very cringe. And in parentheses, a liberal. It was only a few years ago that I've started really critically understanding politics at a level that enabled me to break from some of the liberal brain rot. A couple days ago, so I'm not 22, it was on the 3rd. Oh. I see. Yeah, you mentioned that last time. Happy birthday again. Link and Yoshi. Yeah. So, I should mention, now that we're getting into the gameplay... Oh god, that already feels so much smoother. Okay. The secret sauce I mentioned in the Discord. Apparently, there was actually something that I didn't realize was happening as I was streaming last time. Part of the reason that the gameplay was so miserable, I found out later, was that the capture card was adding several frames of input delay. I play a lot of Super Smash Bros. Melee. People who are longtime veterans of the stream will know this. I've played Melee on occasion. And when I play that game with the capture card, or when I played that game with the capture card still plugged into my computer because I use it to, duplicate the desktop screen, I noticed everything felt a little bit more uncomfortable. And I eventually put together, wait a minute, I don't usually feel like this when I'm playing. So I unplugged the capture card and just plugged the regular HDMI cord back into my computer, into my monitor. And that was it. The capture card was adding a good, God, I want to say 4 or 5 frames of input lag to every single button press. Which is, it's subtle to the naked eye, but holy shit, you notice it when you're playing. And I guess it had been so long since I played Brawl, I thought that was just how the game felt. So we'll see this time if that helps any. Hopefully, me not having that input lag will make the experience a little bit not as bad. But already it's kind of I'm remembering what was so annoying about this game. Come on, get him out of here. Get out of here. I know I should probably be running past all these guys, but... Oh yeah, that move is Eh. Nice. Subspace Emissary, let's fucking go. Kill everything in video games is fun in my opinion, so get out of the way. Yeah. In more pressing matters. Yes. Okay. There was some other stuff that I wanted to rehash for my list earlier in the political news cycle. But yes, there are more pressing matters. Today is January 6th. Merry Christmas to all who celebrate Christmas on January 6th. That is a thing, apparently. Etc. There are a couple other holidays. But enough of me burying the lead. January 6th is also the day in the year following the election that election results are certified in the United States. The United States, in its infinite electoral glory, decides to fucking delay that shit for, like, way after the election actually happens, where the sitting vice president presides over, I believe, the Senate and the House to count all of the... Or no, not the Senate and the House. It was, I think it's just the House that actually does the counting, because there's 400-some electors. And they certify, like, okay, this is the result of the election. And this time it is especially funny because the sitting vice president is Kamala Harris, the candidate who ran against Donald Trump and lost. And that is all she will ever be known for. Aside from prosecuting parents for truancy in California when she was the DA there, she will be known for being the vice president that had to participate in the system to certify her own electoral defeat to Donald Trump, a man who is, like, it would, like, famously was the, oh, we're actually just fucked Republican candidate. Republicans, when they ran Trump in 2016, in 2020, and even this time in 2024, they're like, dog, we're gonna lose. Our candidate is so bad. Republicans don't like him because he's too boorish and like not controllable enough for their tastes, right? But they go with him anyway. And the Democrats, being even more useless than the Republicans, just for different uses, somehow managed to keep losing to him. So now we have the incredibly funny cocktail of the weakest candidate in the history of the Republican Party defeating an even weaker candidate on the Democratic side, and that candidate, having been the vice president, now certifying her own defeat at the hands of, like, literally the least, like, I don't know. Well, what would otherwise have been one of the least electorally viable candidates in American history, but clearly, the recent political history has shown us that Donald Trump and his sort of political brand are very politically viable, because, well, he has won 2 elections now. Get out of here, stupid flying carpet things. I need to... I'm dead. Elon Musk wants to interfere in our politics, wants Tommy Robinson as PM. I don't trust people to not vote for him. We're genuinely going to have PM Tommy Robinson in 2029. Yeah, shit is not looking good for really any Western country. You know, if we are lucky, what will happen as a result of Trump becoming president and other far-right prime ministers is more of the same, but a little bit worse. Like, that's best case scenario. And I'm really slow. RIP January 6th victims, Rotten Hill insurrectionists, RIP Jimmy Carter. RIP Jimmy Carter, I guess. All the virtue ethicists love Jimmy Carter because he was a, like, modest, sort of family man Christian type and was relatively inoffensive, and also did, to his credit, orchestrate the, like, give a hoot, don't pollute campaign, which did lead to people caring a lot more about, you know, the streets and sidewalks being clean. But, you know, Jimmy Carter, I think, should be credited with being the first of the new wave of, like, anti-union neoliberal Democrats, you know? Like, he was one of the first Democratic presidents that began to really abandon the working class, and that began to throw away the connections that the Democratic Party had with the workers' unions, or at least start abusing those connections before throwing them away. There were a lot of the union crackdowns that really got going under Reagan were also they were sort of heralded by Jimmy Carter, particularly having to do with, I believe, airport workers and like air traffic control officers and stuff like that. But of course, Republicans loved that, so the only thing they had to attack him on was, like, inconsequential stuff. Ow. Ow. Stop that. Stop! Oh my god. Okay. Trophy. Do you think today will be remembered in history for a period of time? Today specifically, maybe. If anything, I think today, like, it'll be remembered because it's extremely funny. That's for sure. But also, today is going to be remembered more for the era that it was a part of than anything. You know, the election of Donald Trump and people like and certainly right now the looming threat of the election of people like Tommy Robinson in the UK is going to be remembered as a resurgence of the far right that brought the world basically to the brink of ruin. You know? Oh, jeez. What? You can't make that? That's crazy. Bro, what? I can't make that? Holy shit, Link is so bad. You are kidding me. Okay. I can't go that way. Yeah, Link shouldn't play basketball. White boy can't jump. Obligatory. Give me that. That doesn't work for that. Okay. I could have sworn there was something up there, because that wall is, like, breakable. Okay. Oh, this ain't gonna be good. Yep. Knew it. Is there no way to drop items in this game without holding, without breaking it? I don't, well, I think Z is still a thing. You can still press Z to drop items, like Z dropping exists. What controller are you using? GameCube controller. I thought PM Farage was the threat, it just keeps getting worse. Yeah. Yeah. You know, conditions must worsen, the neoliberal classic. The one, again, there's one silver lining that I feel like I need to keep reminding people of, and it is that with the far right in power, accelerationism will be more kind to the left, right? You want, if things are going to get worse in politics, which it is basically inevitable that they will at this point, you know, as they have been for a long time, you want them to get worse quickly. You don't want, what you don't want is what basically always happens under neoliberalism, which is for the decay to be just that, a decay, a very slow burn. Because a slow burn of worsening material circumstances in politics, in economics, and whatever, is very it's disheartening, and it instills a feeling of apathy in people. It creates like the impression that the forces of decay are this force of nature that literally cannot be stopped regardless of the effort spent on it. It's like a slow, unrelenting march. Like and that has a politically deactivating effect. You know, like that kind of decay, if it were capable of, you know, going on infinitely without devolving into something worse, it would, and there would be no way to stop it, unfortunately. But because the rate of that sort of material decay of society in a neoliberal capitalist order tends to accelerate over time, it gradually gets to the point where things get worse quickly enough that people start to notice. When the far right gets into power, that is actually, in some ways, that can be better for the left and its opportunities to organize than neoliberals. Obviously, things will get worse quicker, so that's kind of counterintuitive to say, right? But you want people to be able to recognize that things are getting worse and to feel that imperative to change things. You want the fire under people's ass to be strong enough that they can basically realize that they're boiling, right? That's why you refer to it as a slow burn, a slow boil. The frog doesn't realize that it's boiling in the pot until it's too late. If you turn up the heat, it boils a lot faster, but people realize that they're being boiled and they want to do something about it. And that's the kind of fire that we need to light under people's, or that we need people to see is being lit under their ass, so that we could potentially have a shot at reversing the decline through people being much easier to activate in that way. Reminds me of a superhero show I watched where the main villain's power is straight up decaying stuff he touches. Neoliberalism villain detected. That data. Why does it feel like sometimes average people are NPCs? Because largely they are. You know? And I know that, like, you know, that sounds like a very superiority complex thing of me to say, but that's the media environment that we exist in, you know? The average person isn't very politically aware, again, because of the slow burn of neoliberalism, and of various other factors that pervaded the 20th century, like Red Scare propaganda, divorcing the concept of politics from, well, you know, things that are acceptable in polite conversation or in the popular lexicon and stuff like that. Ow. Get out of here, Rob. I don't want to kill these Robs, but I have to. Metroid came out today, they would call it woke because strong, independent woman. Maybe. But they would also 100% be dorking it to Samus. Oh, right. Her up B sucks in this game. Yeah, it's one of those things that, like... It's just one of those things that, like, I know that, you know, median voter theorem, the people are retarded, but it's hard to hold that against them when there is no, like... There are so few methods of developing political consciousness left that, like, how do you be not retarded exactly? Like, how do you just do that? You know? For a lot of people that grow up in, like, very rural communities, the only political engagement they have access to is the fucking Fox News channel. That's not even an exaggeration. There are some places that only get Fox News and like some of those other insane right-wing outlets on TV, and there is no effort on the part of the liberal institutions to provide any sort of counter-narrative. That's a lot of rural communities. for torturing my boy Pikachu. For me, it was thanks to my autism. I feel like my autism probably played a part in my interest in politics as well, because I care about good things and bad things, etc. I'm also very interested in things generally. I don't know. There's a lot of shit that gets attributed to autism, which is really just like having interests and purpose in life and stuff. I don't know. Yes, give me Pikachu. Holy shit. I do have autism. I do weird. Yeah. Everybody does. Like, the actual, like, neurotypical people are fucking insane. Yeah, I didn't press up on the C-stick game. I hope you realize that. Anyway. What the... Yeah. Hey. I'm not trying to 100% Subspace. I'm just trying to get through it and unlock all the characters. It's getting warm. I'll probably need to take off my sweatshirt at some point. Am I dead? No. Interesting. Maximum tomato, thank you. Undefeatable strategy. Pikachu was really good in this game. Find it funny that when everybody gets trapped in a statue, they do poses. I think they're trophies, but yeah. It's like you're taking a photograph of them. You have to say cheese for the camera first or something. I don't know. A key! Don't do that. Yay. Hacking is your friend in this game. Maximum tomatoes are also your friend in this game. The key. Get that out of here. I think... Ow. Damn it, I was gonna try to do some Pikachu tech. Told you the funny, ironic story about Green Arrow? I believe so. Oh, where am I? Oh. I'm next to the... Stop! Dude, what the fuck is this game cooking? What is this level design? Don't fucking spawn me at the cart that sends me off to my death, game. Holy shit. Get that shit out of here. Did I just... Okay, no. I was gonna say, did I just destroy a like, progression critical item? But no, it respawned. Okay. Get out of here. Eh? Oh. Where am I going? What did that do? Huh? Why? Stop! Okay, okay. I want you to go down here. Magnet hand strikes again. Okay, yeah, you can't do that tech. I like the Pikachu tech where you quick attack to like slide on the ground and there's like not a lot of ending lag. And I'm glad that you can do that in this game as well, because it's one of the few movement options that exists in Brawl. Samus is my main? Ah. Man of taste, a man of charge shot enjoyment. Oh yeah, this is also the Smash Bros. Game that introduced the ability of certain characters to crouch walk. I got stuck on nothing. Bro, what? Like, I know those things go through your shield, but it's not... Oh, hey, the first trip of the fucking session. It's not like it's realistic to expect that I would die the moment I touched it. But, like, that one hit just sends me into the abyss eternally. Yeah, okay. It's funny that after Samus decides to go against the government, in the very next game, she's working for the government again. Yeah, well, it's, you know, let's not accuse Nintendo games of having very coherent stories here. So. Wait, that was it? That was all bonus? Hello? Game, if you made me die for fucking optional shit, I'm gonna be mad. Get this motherfucker out of here. Ah. I'm going in here. Vault Orb. Ow. Okay, I think you're just supposed to go up, which is now what I will do. Hello? You didn't grab the ladder? Get out of here. Rob, holy shit. Well, I did get up there. She's like, don't you dare make super weapons next game, it's alright. How do you get that high? You get hit. You talk shit and you get hit. Probably. I don't know. I needed that maximum tomato, and I'm not gonna fight these guys. If I can help it. Yeah, get out of here. Okay, that's not good. Stop wall jumping! Oh, you know what's the problem? This is, I think, unique to Brawl. Wall jumps occur if you're facing the wall and you press jump. That does not happen in, other Smash games, and I'm dead. In other Smash games, you have to press the opposite direction from the wall. That's why sometimes I hate cameras in games. Yeah. Well, the camera in Subspace actually serves a function, which is that you have to be able to die when you get hit, and the stages are really big, so you don't always die when you get hit, like, in circumstances where you otherwise would. So to make it so that you can, like, you have to feel, like, the pressure of having a high percent in this mode, they lock the camera in place for a certain amount of time after you get hit. So that way there's, like, a realistic possibility that a certain hit could kill you. The problem with this is that you end up dying to bullshit. Like that. Huge amount of local radio stations and shit are owned by Fox News and adjacent right-wing institutions. Yes, that in fact, it's not a large number. It's all of them. Every single syndicated, like, local news channel. Nice trip, thank you. And my shield was broken. Is owned by, like, News Corp or Disney or whatever. It's like a property of the far-right goons. I died off the top. I didn't know there was a top there. I pressed grab, and the game did not grab. Get out of here. Hello? Alright, great. What's down here? Nothing. I see those mines down there, game. Don't think I don't! I swear whatever fucking combination of buttons the game thought that was absolutely not what I pressed. Saw a video of Undertale written by AI, and one Papyrus was racist. Sam says you must watch Fox News. I ruined the joke. Sans, not Sam. Sans. Love when my news is owned by mega billionaires. Yeah, great system. Great liberal democracy where the only people who actually have any power or influence are wealthier than God himself and own all of the political machinery that is capable of influencing the political beliefs of other people. Great. Republicans saying the power is in trouble now. What? Power's in trouble. Well, yeah, I mean, the owning class has always known that their position is very artificial and very precarious. That's why they have been so active in pursuing an agenda of political reaction, is to try to consolidate power as much as possible, because they know that at the slightest like crack, the facade starts to fall away, and like basically the narrative that they have tried to weave to justify their powerful position, the owning class, is very much not what you would initially assume. It is very easy to naturally come to the conclusion that the ultra wealthy are what's wrong with society, and the fact that there's like a class of people that just has that power is fucked up, and we shouldn't have that. Very natural conclusion to draw. There has to be so much money and effort put into systems that are capable of suppressing that consciousness. What point do you think violence would be needed? Violence is and always has been necessary to political movements. The difference is how hard or soft that violence is. For example, political movements live and die by their access to political power. Political power being the ability to force change where it otherwise would face resistance. You know, the simple act of writing something into law, even if it is a law that does nothing but good things. For example, this is, you know, let's say they passed the Medicare for All bill into law. Finally, you know, the fucking, like, you know, the system will be fixed somewhat. Everybody's going to get health insurance for free. No people will die. The amount of violence in the world has been reduced wholesale. And yet violence is necessary for that because it takes the form of a law that is enforceable by state power. Right? Alright, Link time. Finally got his trophy wife? That's true. Bowser's on some different shit today, or this past couple days. Oh, shit. Time to fight against my favorite character in this game. Nothing has any hit stun in this game. It's kind of crazy. Hello? Game's not registering my inputs again. We're starting to run into the super frustrating phase of things. That makes me fall like 1 million miles per hour? Hello? That's crazy. Right, Yoshi can't jump out of shield. God, Brawl CPUs are insufferable. I keep forgetting you can't jump out of shield. Get out of here. What? That did, like, nothing. Damn, Yoshi's kind of ass in this game. Footstools, of course. Am I dead? No. Bro, you can live for crazy long in this game. And I can't fucking... Yeah, the spam air dodge thing is, like, legitimately a viable strategy. Holy shit. Okay. Link, a monarchist fighting Princess Zelda. I'm fucking losing my mind. That was Peach. I'm assuming that was a shit post. What was I saying? Yes, okay. if violence were never employed by political movements that wanted good things, then they would just be overwhelmed by violence from the ruling class who want the banal bad things to persist, right? In order to overthrow a system that perpetuates banal violence, either banal or spectacular, is necessary, because otherwise there is no force with which to overthrow it. Does that make sense? Violence is just a normal part of life. People just get really squeamish about it because they imagine that violence is only when somebody gets shot on the street or when you get stabbed with a knife, and not say when somebody signs a document with the stroke of a pen that legalizes the behavior of, health insurance companies effectively killing tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people each year. Or actually, I believe it's tens of thousands. I saw statistics like 68,000 preventable medical deaths per year. Finally, someone fucking admits violence is part of the human experience. Lol, we're violent creatures, and that's okay. Yeah, and at an interpersonal level, you can say, like, yeah, violence is bad. You shouldn't be violent towards each other. The problem is that people assume that there is any larger politics without violence, right? Without, like, some kind of, like, ability to enact wide-scaling change. Dude, my CPU ally is so ass. Look at him, he's just rolling, that's it! Am I dead? Nice going, Yoshi. You're fucking useless. I hate when games give you a partner that's purposely stupid. Yeah. You're literally playing a game where people beat the shit out of each other. Yeah, that's true. This is a violent game. The difference is this is simulated and very stylized and cartoony violence. It is violence in a completely contained and safe setting. Nobody's actually being hurt in real life. I'm doing my best here. Okay, I got Pit. I've noticed the CPUs tend to only air dodge once. Get out of here, Yoshi. We would make fighting games if violence wasn't part of the human experience. That's true. I think that's true. But yeah, what makes a law is the force of violence behind it. That doesn't mean that all laws are bad. In fact, there are some laws that are good. In fact, there are many laws that are good. Because without those laws, we would simply be subject to more exploitative violence. You know? Like I said, imagine like Medicare for All gets passed into law, right? You are using state force to basically say, no, you don't get to monopolize health insurance anymore. You don't get to monopolize whether people live or die by their health care, right? To the insurance companies. And if you try to do that, you will face penalty of law. We will use the apparatus of the state to punish you, either through court proceedings and through like loss of assets, which is a very banal and indirect soft form of violence, or we'll, arrest you. In the case of most, any crime that's not perpetrated by a billionaire, that's usually what happens, and that's a much more direct form of violence. Can't crouch walk with Mario. Are you kidding me? And he runs off and kills himself. Great, thank you. You know, I would appreciate it if you wouldn't. Another trip again. Okay, great. No, this fucking thing. These enemies are cheap. Uncle says companies are that are running insurance. Great, and we need that. We need to make the market even more free. So your uncle just supports more people dying. This is what the free market has yielded. Making the market more free would give companies simply more freedom to not cover people. The objective of an insurance company is to make money. It's not to, you know, insure people. Insurance companies can't make money if they actually insure everybody, right? They have to deny people's claims, otherwise they don't make a profit. By definition, the way that paying premiums into an insurance pool works is that they're getting more money than they are doling out. Now, with mutual funds, there's a way that this can work, but with, like, insurance companies having to meet quarterly growth and profit targets, the way that this works is just they, you know, they for sure want to take your premiums and stuff like that. They will be very interested to take the premiums that you offer them, and in fact, they will be very fastidious in making sure you pay those premiums. But when it comes time to pay up, they're always very like, well, do we actually need to pay out your claim, your claim and stuff? And the answer for them usually is no, they don't have to, because they make the rules. What's the there's a isn't there a Jaden Animations bit or something like this? Where it's like, somebody asked me to explain how insurance works. So here it is. Hey, insurance company, I need you to give me back some of that money that I gave you in case I get hurt. And then the insurance person says no. And she says, that's how insurance works. That's all insurance is. That is all it is. That is the only thing core to any form of insurance. Jaden got hate for not liking religion, probably by religioids. And she is based and secularism pilled for that. Concept of a free market is a lie. Yeah, in the words of David Graeber, whenever somebody talks about a free market, look for the guy with a gun. He's not far away. I did not mean to wall jump there. Jump momentum is really weird in this game. Oh shit, these things can kill you. Why does it feel like most people would be the people that would trust someone and they get shot in the back of the head? Because historically that's what's happened. A lot of people have trusted other people in a political context only to get literally shot in the back of the head later. I mean, look what happened during the Russian Revolution, during the Iranian Revolution, hell, even during the American Revolution, and afterwards, you know? You think the American colonists could have fucking kicked out Britain by themselves? Absolutely not. They had help from some of the Indian tribes who really did not like the British. Not many, but some. You know, most of the American Indian tribes aligned with Britain because Britain was willing to recognize a certain line in the sand, which is not to say that they would have actually held to that. Yeah. If you wanted coverage for an expensive illness, but a CEO said no. The only reason that the illnesses are expensive in the first place is because of the the tendency of the rate of profit to fall, and how the profit center eventually subsumes everything to the point that the only way to make any money in a market setting is to cut corners and to sow more misery at the expense of the service and the person who needs said service. Seriously, to give an example of what I'm talking about, right? Again, I'm going to go with health insurance. Family member of mine, several years ago, had cancer and eventually died as a result. Part of the reason that they died was because of how expensive treatment in America was. They had to go back to Morocco to get treatment. One of the things they had to do, I forget if it was related to this or not. At some point, they had to get like a CAT scan. In the United States, you can imagine getting a CAT scan, which is something that you need complex medical machinery to do. That costs you an arm and a leg. Thousands of dollars, or tens of thousands even, more likely. In Morocco, would you like to guess how much money something like that costs? In Morocco, mind you, this is a developing country in the third world. €0? You are close. Before insurance, he went to a private hospital. Before insurance, it cost $30. After insurance covered 90% of the cost. It cost them $3 to get a CAT scan at a private insured hospital in a third world country. That would cost 10,000 times as much here. And I'm not exaggerating when I say 10,000 times as much. The reason for that is because in Western countries, capitalism is beyond the industrializing stage. In third world countries, there's a lot of times they're still industrializing. If you go to Morocco, you can see like there are a lot of areas that have been virtually like unreached by modern infrastructure. There's still like very pastoralist communities in Morocco that don't have like running water even, you know? So there's still a lot of room for development to occur in an earlier stage of capitalism. But Morocco, quite literally, and a lot of like third world countries are literally in an earlier stage of capitalistic development than the United States, France, Britain, Spain, whatever else, right? In the later stages of development, in this late stage capitalism, there is no more room for that kind of growth. There's no more room for the kind of economic growth that produces real things and real benefits. The only kind of economic growth that can occur in a nation as developed as the US is by corner cutting, price gouging, and artificially inflating the costs and consolidating more and more and more into the capital class. Given if you were to swap places, if you were to swap certain like economic conditions in Morocco and the United States, then healthcare would be costing $3 here and $30,000 there. But the motive, like the profit motive remains. If people usually want to do like productive and beneficial things to society first, right? Like if they are there to do, like if they can do that without rocking the boat, then they will. So usually a lot of the good things that happen under capitalism that are positive, like that capitalism legitimately has to offer humanity, all of that happens in the early stages. In the sort of 18th and 19th century iterations of capitalism as we would know it in the what's now the first world, or, you know, presently what's happening in some countries in the third world and stuff like that. Despite, again, the still exploitative nature of what goes on there. Now, basically, capitalism has run out of positive things to offer humanity. There's no longer benefit that capitalism can bring people. It now has to take... It now, like, in order to keep its primary incentive running, which is the profit incentive, it now is forced to take good things out of the world, or to make those good things harder to come by in order to keep up those profits. Otherwise, the system collapses wholesale. interesting how popular late-stage capitalism has gotten recently. I think it is, because it speaks to a sort of discontent that can potentially lead to the systemic change that would be needed for a systemic transition out of capitalism. Capitalism has two decisions, fascism or socialism, and they pick fascism. Yeah, the ruling class will always pick fascism, because that keeps their position of power intact. The working classes and the people who have, like, distinctly different interests from the ruling classes will never usually pick the fascism that the ruling classes pick. They may at times still pick fascism, but it will never be the same kind of market-driven neoliberal fascism that, you know, Elon Musk and his ilk tend to roll with, right? That's kind of the source of the MAGA Civil War, which I will actually get to in a second, because I wanted to talk about that too. I wanted to sort of go through that again. I know people who say late-stage capitalism is not real. Their brain is not real. I'll give them that. They are actually, they would know what is and isn't real, because they are so good at making fictional things a reality that they have managed to conjure a brain that is incapable of understanding that there is a course of history that progresses linearly with time. You know, very, very impressive for one person to be capable of that level of stupidity. But nonetheless, it is possible. Is it funny that some people think that Donald Trump will solve the medical problem? In a morbid way, yes, but it's very understandable that, like, there's been so little, people have been so starved for people who are willing to say anything about a systemic change, that Donald Trump only has to, like, allude to it once, if that, or even not allude to it at all. He's just willing to present himself in a mildly different fashion than most, like, establishment politicians, and people will go with it because, in his case, there hasn't been, like, necessarily an active resistance to people not liking the status quo. In the case of Republicans and Democrats alike, all they ever have to say about, like, the nature of systemic change is that, like, yeah, we oppose it. Like, you know, having healthcare is communism, actually. Where Trump, like, I remember in 2016, Trump said, like, everybody, you gotta have insurance, we gotta insure everybody. And even though that doesn't really mean anything, that was enough for a lot of people to board that train at the station, you know? You know, because Donald Trump is a populist and is actually relatively vacuous, it's very easy for people to, like, project onto him that which they want to see or hear. Yeah, like, that's the political narrative, bro the boss. It's that, like, that's the only thing that establishment Republicans and especially Democrats are willing to offer people, that you can functionally, that you can still pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Democrats just phrase it a little bit nicer. And I'm dead. You know, like, opportunity economy. You missed a medium tomato? Ah, my bad. My bad. My B. Yeah, I'll continue. Anywho. Now I want to address something that I tried to talk about yesterday, but was not nearly coherent enough to do. And now that the control scheme is a little bit more comfortable in this game, I feel like I can sort of do that. And that is the MAGA Civil War. I have found it quite entertaining and at times downright delightful. That there is now a lot of infighting on the right as it actually pertains to the sort of populist right versus what academics like Thomas Piketty would call the merchant right. Basically, the billionaires who want a Putin-style fascist dictatorship versus the Steve Bannons and, like, random MAGA uncles of the world who want, like, white supremacist ethno-state kind of fascist dictatorship, right? You know? If I recall correctly, it's been a couple days since this all started. Also, I don't think there's any way to die in here, so I can get it hit basically as much as I want, which is great. It basically started with some people talking about H-1B visas or something, and Elon Musk functionally like defending H-1B visas or something like that. That just being work visas that people can come to the U.S. with and like work like high tech, like what some people would call like skilled labor, which of course, I mean, all labor requires skill in order to perform it. Some skills more basic, some skills requiring college education, whatever. But like these would be like your Silicon Valley tech jobs and like white collar stuff that you would need a college degree and that kind of expertise in order to do, right? And a lot of right wingers were like, the Indians are taking our jobs and stuff, or like the the Indians and whoever else was coming to the United States on these visas are taking our jobs. And of course, no, they're not. Who's taking your jobs really is the billionaires who are choosing to employ people and who are choosing to seek people out for employment who are much more submissive and breedable, or rather exploitable, I guess, than the average American citizen. For two reasons. First off, immigrants can be sort of threatened with an ending of their work visa or with deportation, which makes it much easier for bosses to pay them less and work more. Basically, whether it's like high like education or low education jobs, migrant labor that is subject to fewer legal protections is always going to be cheaper and more desirable for the owning class. So that's what they look for. And that's why some people are being passed over who are like American citizens or whatever in some cases. But, largely it's because of the second thing, which is in order to get those workers, those well-educated workers from other countries, and in order to cheap out on wages and stuff like that, they have, the capital class has figured, well, since we're employing a lot of labor that we can pay less and that isn't being educated in America, we do not need education in America. It's not always as one-to-one as that, but it is the case that the right wing has been waging war on the education system for a very long time, right? The education that you would need to, be eligible or employable in this kind of job, in this industry, is less attainable now because of the actions of the right wing. So defund education so that it's harder for people to become educated enough to seek out these kinds of jobs. And then, now that there aren't enough educated people at home to seek those kinds of jobs who would maybe be subject to more legal protection and who would have an easier time forming unions and would have an easier time bargaining for higher wages, instead look for educated talent from other countries that is much easier to exploit, so that you don't have to worry about paying wages. For the capital class, it's a win-win. The population at home remains stupid, and the population that you employ is much more exploitable. And they are not the same population, so it is much easier for them to point the finger and say, hey, they took your job. Effectively, they pit two groups of people with the same interests against each other. And both of them lose. Whenever the white supremacists and the Indian tech workers or whoever, a lot of Indians are also white supremacists, kind of goofy. Whenever minorities and white supremacists of the working class fight, both of them lose and the billionaires win. So the billionaires want to create as many conditions as possible for that to happen, all the while enriching themselves. The more they fight, the less they realize they're being exploited. Both of them. Rockefeller once said, I don't want a nation of scholars, I want a nation of workers. Yes, Brother Boss. I think that might be the perfect encapsulation of what is driving the MAGA Civil War and what some white supremacists seem to have been a little bit disillusioned by, is that the billionaires do not want a nation of scholars. They want a nation of workers. But because that's kind of hard, it's easier to just look to other nations that have less well-developed of an education system, or that have or just other nations in general to get people to come over here on work visas and stuff. You know, they save enough on like skipping out on wages to make up the difference in that way for like people traveling and stuff. Yeah, rich people are like, equality for all. Everyone is equally enslaved by us, the capital class. Yes, great. And I know a lot of white supremacists won't be terribly interested in anything I had to say there because it requires working with minorities. And I know a lot of white supremacists would rather languish in anguish, bars, than fucking ever, like, admit that they have more in common with minorities and workers of other races and nationalities than they do with billionaires of the same race and nationality. I know that, like, they would rather suffer than ever admit that, right? But if they actually have any desire to make their own life better, that's what it's going to take, is realizing, okay, the minorities are actually being exploited the same as, like, people who are not minorities in the workplace. And really who's benefiting here is the owner class. The Elon Musks, the Donald Trumps, the fucking Jeff Bezoses of the world are all laughing it up as fucking random white race warrior on Twitter who might not even have a job is like advocating for a white ethno-state and stuff, because that's just like confirmation that, like, all right, great, it worked. You know, the girls are fighting, basically. Is that it? Oh, okay. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, I just fucking died. There was an idea. What? It puts me back here? That's crazy. Drop through the platform, you numbskull. They'll learn the hard way? Maybe. It's possible that they don't learn at all. A little bit late for those maximum tomatoes. Yeah. Basically, there's a lot of MAGA types that are realizing that they are going to get the they're gonna get the Fell for It Again award, because, you know, they fell for it again, and rich idiots are laughing all the way to the bank. Okay, at least I'm playing as Kirby this time and not Link, somebody who sucks at the platforming sections. Alright, let's keep running. Oh boy. Oh. Okay. No! Damn it! I was gonna say, I think I've cracked the code here, is that you just have to, like, use your tilts and stuff to... Okay. We're good, we're good. Too gruesome, though. When I was in preschool, everyone laughed at me when I said being racist means you're stupid. Yeah, and it does mean that. It does, in fact... Well, I mean, that's preschool, so, I mean... That's the kind of intelligence you can expect from 4-year-olds, but it's also apparently the intelligence that you can expect from most white supremacists as well. You know, fully grown adults and stuff. Okay, get me out of here. Ah, I'm surprised that I picked that, honestly. Holy shit, that does so much damage. Stop! Hello? Oh, I could have just ran through that? Get me out of here. Am I dead? I'm dead. Up harassing Yoshi. Yeah. basically both sides of the MAGA civil war are wrong, right? Because the white supremacist, like, populist types are like, stop hiring stinky Indians and stop allowing people to come to America because they're stinky and brown and stinky again. And the billionaires are like, don't you understand? We need migrant labor because Americans are all stupid because our culture sucks. That literally, like, Vivek Ramaswamy, if I remember right, actually did the whole, like, oh, their culture is just bad kind of talking points that you would typically hear with, like, black Americans, but, like, directed at white America, which is incredibly funny. What, that killed me? That's crazy. You die from fucking everything in this game mode. Yeah, get him out of here. Koopa, you fuck. Get me up there. Oh yeah, this is just the super short section. I can just through there. Imagine I tripped there. That would have been funny. The lesson here is don't be Republican. Yes. Do not be a part of the far right because they're very dumb. Whoa, I can't hit that? Okay. Get that motherfucker out of there. Okay. I don't know how I made it through that. Link might be the worst character to do platforming stuff with. Oh, I can go up here now. What's up here? Bonus? Bonus. Baby Mario. Okay. Jesus. So as I was saying about the MAGA Civil War, I think I've said most of, like, I've encapsulated most of the drama that occurred between, like, the different factions of the far right, right? And I think it's great that they're fighting, because if they're fighting, that means they can't do jack shit, either for, like, making the trad red-pilled white ethno-state, or from, like, the perspective of absolutely fucking decimating the American economy or whatever the hell with 1 billion% tariffs, right? Because they're too busy, like, fighting over marginal differences. But then apparently recently this sort of civil war has escalated. Elon Musk is now on a banning spree. My man has the biggest fucking crybaby bitch ego problem on planet Earth, and is, like, literally removing verification checks and banning all the, like, Groyper, like, populist far-right accounts that he can get his hands on, basically. But feeling it's supposed to be Peach, and they'd expect you to pick the other one. Yeah, no, they didn't expect you to pick the other one. Victim blaming, the far-right's special move. That's true. That's their final smash, their ultimate attack. Well, another Rob suicide bombing. That's why you gotta kill Robs like that? It's fucked up. Okay. I'm only 28% through. That's crazy. Alright, back to map. Let's go. The Ruins. Pick Lucas. It would be interesting if my Crazy Hand talked in sign language. That'd be funny. Like, Crazy Hand is actually saying shit. That'd be great. I would love that. Get all these fuckers out of here. Ow. At least you don't take damage from that. Imagine, dude, how fucking funny and characteristic of this game would it be if, like, that just killed you. You ride the fucking thing, the minecart or whatever, into the wall, and you just die if you let it hit the wall with you in it. There's no way to see it coming. Please don't let me be stuck here for all fucking eternity. Jesus Christ, you see how long it takes to throw those things? It's annoying as hell. Give me this gun. Okay, I'm through there, I'm through there. Nope! Okay. I thought those would kill you if they landed on you, but thankfully they do not. Get me out of here! Jeez. I'll be real, the platforming in this game actually leaves a lot to be desired because of how slow it is. That's one thing I'm now noticing. I hate how Nintendo didn't transfer the game to the new consoles. Well, that's a very Nintendo thing. Nintendo's one of the weirdest companies I've seen in that they really don't like it when people play their games, you know, and enjoy them. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it. That, like, people want to play classic Nintendo titles and stuff, and Nintendo is, like, so opposed to it. Like, we'll literally sue you if you pursue legal, like, completely within the law means of obtaining this game that doesn't involve buying it new from us. And by the way, there is no way to buy it new from us because we, like, stopped producing the game or whatever. Like, I've never seen any company as committed to deleting their old gaming library as Nintendo. In fact, on the contrary, there are a lot of other developers that have spent a lot of time and effort into making those older games accessible. Hell, like, look at just Capcom, for instance. You can get a lot of old Capcom fighting games on Steam. In the, like, there's the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, there's, like, the Fighting Game Collection of stuff that, like, isn't just Street Fighter and stuff like that. With other companies, obviously, like, I'm not saying that this isn't, like, I'm not saying Capcom good, Nintendo bad, because all companies obviously are operating based off the profit incentive. But, like, other companies seem to be more interested in like, that kind of marketing, you know? In a way, it's kind of funny. Nintendo's a much better reflection of the irrational desire of the capital class to completely control, excuse me, IPs, like intellectual properties and stuff. It's not enough that they be profitable. Like, they need the monopoly power more than anything. It's an interesting and, like, more undisguised form of private capital. Nintendo has, how's the Pokemon trainer getting around? He's fucking teleporting. Or some shit. He himself learned teleport at level 1. So he can just teleport anywhere. They stopped making Metal Gear games? Yeah. And I'm okay with that, because there's still ways to play those games, right? Like... Ow. Holy shit! Alright. Ivysaur I can actually kind of play as a little bit. Never mind! Jesus. Can you imagine in a Pokemon game if your character learned a Pokemon move like your human character? Yeah, that'd be really funny. Dude, wait, that's like Captain Falcon. Imagine Captain Falcon's in a Pokemon game, he learns Fire Punch and it's just a Falcon Punch. Is Pokemon Dungeons games even worth it? Are you talking about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, or is this a different game? Because if the question is about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, then yes, it 100% is worth it. Holy shit, this level is impossible. Fuck these guys. Get out of here. Oh my god, dude. Oh, switch mystery dungeons? Yeah, those games are worth it. Stop. Okay. Okay, this is gonna be another boss battle. I've learned that Lucas's Nair is very good here. No, I thought I would be able to... Oh my god, there's fire! That actually made that fight a lot easier. Falcon Punch would be like 120 power. Yeah. And like fucking 50 accuracy or something. Stop. Oh, you... Shit. Get out of here. Okay, get me through there. Get you out of here. Oh, interesting. How am I supposed to do this? I guess just like that? Alright. I get the feeling that there was something more complex intended there, but... eh. Huh? Oh. Is that here? This is definitely not what you're intended to do. No, give it. Ooh, get me over there. Okay, perfect. Ow. What? How are you supposed to do this? Bunny hat? Oh, right. This makes you run really fast. Okay. So you are actually intended to use that item. I wonder if you can absorb this. Maybe not? I don't know. I thought I teched at least one of those. Kidnap the Pokemon without the Pokemon being able to say no. Hello? Stop. Okay. Going over here. I don't care about fighting those guys. Get me out of here. Oh, it's Charizard. Almost. Oh yeah, wait. Charizard doesn't have Flare Blitz in this version of the game, so he kind of sucks. Get out of here. Wave dashing isn't the thing. This isn't Project M. Get him out of here. You guys know about the fatigue system in this game? The Pokemon... Okay, that killed me. Cool. The Pokemon actually get tired the more you use them. So you have to switch them out. The game, like, functionally forces you to switch out the Pokemon every now and again. Just fucking dumb. It made Pokemon Trainer a really bad character. Imagine if the Pokemon type system was in Smash, that would be broken. Spaceys versus Pikachu? Like, imagine Falco versus Pikachu. That matchup would be atrocious for Falco. If the type system was in Smash Bros. Like, yeah. Like, anything Pikachu touched Falco with would just kill him. Because he's a bird. Tier list instantly destroyed for Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo GameCube. And we'll save the game. One time I saw this troll absorb Lucas' up B to make him fall to his death. Oh yeah, that's a favorite of the silly, goofy, haha Smash Bros. Players and such. You may have heard that. That was my cat. He's got the zoomies. Okay. What other stuff? Oh yeah, I actually wanted to. I think I'm gonna do this one level, the Wilds. I might do that and then like end the stream there. But I wanted to show you guys something cool. So, and then there's a couple stories I also wanted to tell. There's a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about that I didn't get to last stream. But broken because half the cast would be weak to him. He'd resist about 50% of attacks in the game. That's true. God, imagine that meta. I have a t-shirt that I made when I was 4 years old. I found this recently when I was going through a bunch of stuff. Somewhere. Here it is. So I was recently, I've like embarked on an arc of kind of like cleaning up my life, which means practically speaking, going through a lot of old stuff, seeing what I want to keep, what I don't, and trying to reevaluate my priorities and stuff, which includes me getting back into streaming and video editing and things like that, because there are some things I genuinely want to do, I just haven't had the motivation to. And I found this, and for a lot of my old clothes, they're like too small and stuff. I wear like size large for like most shirts and coats and stuff. And I was expecting this to be a size medium, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to throw this away. But I looked and it was a size large. Check this out. Can the camera see that? Look at this. That is my handwriting from when I was 4 years old. I made this shirt about 20 years ago. When I was little, what does that say? It says, here, let me show it again. It says advertisement over and over and over again. It you know, as well as 4-year-old me could write, you know, letters in red marker. And there's a very fun story behind this shirt too. So when I was little, obviously I watched a lot of SpongeBob, right? Everybody loves SpongeBob. And I remember when I sat down at the, you know, the TV I'd be watching, there's like usually for 30-minute TV episodes, right? There's like a 1-hour time slot. And for 20-minute episodes, there will be like a 40 or 45-minute time slot or something like, or sometimes a 30-minute time slot. And all of the time that isn't occupied by the episodes is purely reserved for ads. And I remember, it's all the characters I had a nightmare with. Oh, joy. I'll get to try to explain this story as I'm playing through this. So, I remember watching SpongeBob back in the day when I was 4 years old. This is like, could barely read or write anything, like, to save my life. I mean, you saw the quality of that handwriting. And there was just ad after ad after ad. Like, seriously, you know, I do genuinely think it's like half the runtime of the whole show is purely occupied by advertisements. Like, I think that's how, like, airing TV shows and stuff works. And I remember being so fed up about it at age 4. I went and grabbed a piece of paper, like, you know, from the printer or whatever. Like, just random piece of 8.5 by 11, like, white printer paper. Drop from that ledge. Thank you. And I just grabbed a red marker. Don't spoil it, Gotron. We're getting there. I grabbed a red marker and started writing advertisement, advertisement, advertisement. Like, I filled up the whole paper with it. And it just in red marker over and over again, big red letters. And then at one point, like, I had finished, I just sort of left it on the table where I was drawing. Because, you know, 4-year-old me doesn't really have a concept of putting stuff back. And also, like, it wasn't a toy, so I didn't know where I would put it. You know? And my dad, I think my dad came down at one point downstairs to, like, where I was watching the TV. This was in our old house. It didn't live in the house I currently live in. And he was like, hey, you know, what's this? And he saw it, and he was so amused with it. It was so, like, I guess charming and whatever, that he held on to it. He was like, can I take this for something? And I was like, okay. And he actually, way back in the day, when I was a younger lad, he made t-shirts out of it. Several t-shirts. In fact, I remember this because there were some of the t-shirts that he made that were small enough to fit me when I was that age. And I remember wearing them to school sometimes. I would wear it to school. And my teachers always got a kick out of the fact that, like, little me just wrote advertisement over and over again because I was so annoyed with, like, seeing ads on TV saturating the fucking thing that was supposed to be me watching SpongeBob. Like, seriously. I sat down to watch SpongeBob SquarePants go on whimsical adventures at his minimum wage job, unionizing with Squidward. I did not sit here to, like, fucking just behold advertisements for 30 minutes. And I genuinely do think, Gotron, as much as we joke, I think that's genuinely one of my, like, first negative run-ins with capitalism. But, like, man, I really don't like how everybody's just trying to sell me shit all the time. Like, I don't care about any of the ads and stuff that are airing on TV. Like, why are they showing this? Get back to the show, goddammit. This actually feels so much better. It is unreal how much better this feels. I was right about the capture card being the culprit in large part. So I guess young me has if not, like, directly been anti-capitalist or whatever, has been very primed to be anti-capitalist. I've been very primed for that from like a young age, just organically, I guess. You know, like, whom amongst us has not been annoyed at the interruption of our favorite kids television program by copious and, like, completely fucking brain melting amounts of advertisements. Ow. Oh, damn it. I hate auto-scrollers. Okay. Get him out of here. Give me that water. Thank you. Am I gonna have to fight some guys here? Yes. What? You tripped? Even the enemies trip in this game. That's crazy. And I'm dead. Visceral hatred of YouTube ads probably comes from being forced to sit through a fuck ton of ads on the TV as a child. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was where a lot of people's hatred for ads and stuff came from. That killed me. Great. Just a joke about this and caption Laserhawk. Just showing up to your boss fight and then immediately tripping over. Must be Super Smash Bros Brawl for the Nintendo Wii. Thank you. Very cool. That's just a cute little story for the viewers out there that I made this, like, I guess, the anti-capitalist t-shirt design just because I was fucking annoyed with the state of, like, television advertisements and stuff when I was 4 years old. I wasn't even in kindergarten yet. This was before I had even entered the K-12 education system. Like, that shit was a long time coming. Yeah. I'm fast-forwarding through all of you, basically. Even DVR recordings sometimes, like, were really annoying to skip through all the ads. Kind of fucked up. Can you imagine if you had to watch advertisements at your job? No. Because I would probably just leave the job if that was the case. Like, yeah, you have to watch these ads as mandated by the company. Like, fuck you. Imagine thinking you could tell me just to do that. Get out of here. I got a trophy for Giant Pyramid. I must have it. Get out of here. Ow! Shouldn't have done that. Hell of a boss the owl person I really like is now in poverty. And a lot of the community's happy about it. Weird out of context. Yeah, I imagine it's one of those things that probably makes more sense in context. I don't care what's over there. I'm going through here. Anyway, that's the end of the story. I remember I wore the t-shirt recently, and I was reminded of that by the fact that I didn't know I still had this t-shirt until I, like, found it when I was going through some old stuff in my room. Al is, in fact, the nicest person in the show, which makes it weirder. But now it has me really wondering. Okay, I don't need these. Don't do that. Okay. Ended up there. Okay, this is the door that I'm supposed to go through. Ha! Art container. Is up B scream sounds weird in this game? Yeah. It's hard for me to go back to Brawl after having, like, Smash Ultimate and then also, like, playing Melee a lot. Marth sounds really weird in this game compared to Melee in some respects. Alright. Marth Nair is still broken in this game, kind of. You can't be serious. Somebody better fucking clip some of this stuff of me, like, getting my ass absolutely beat. The fuck does that mean? You say that it instantly died? Well, yeah, Marth isn't a boss character, so I don't have a fucking giant kill you in one hit punch. Meta Knight super broken error attacks. Save me? Okay, he's gonna... Great. Really cool boss fight game. Thank you. Alright. Imagine I lock in and actually beat this guy now. He's gonna... Okay. He's gonna do that. He's gonna do the thing! Okay. Oh, I actually countered that. That's sick. Okay. Got him. Ow. Holy shit. That almost killed me. Okay. That's new. Okay. Look like you're fighting Superman. Okay, I think I got a handle at that boss fight towards the end, but Jesus Christ. Oh, I've been skipping over somebody followed yesterday where I did not stream, and I want to shout them out. It was at Journey Fragment Chen. Thank you for the follow. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's an attack where he like falls on his face. That's the first time he's used that attack. Ow. Wait, what? That went through my counter. Hello? Excuse me? Don't. Okay, that doesn't do too much to me. Dude. Am I just destined to... Alright. That didn't hit him, but my counter worked. Okay. No! Can you perfect shield? Yes, you can. If you shield within a few frames of like an attack being about to hit you, you will perfect shield and it does no shield damage. Even if it's okay, I don't know how I avoided it that time. Even if it's like a one-hit shield break, you can still perfect shield it. Like it is possible to perfect shield Marth's shield breaker, and that actually nullifies the shield breaking effect. Like it won't do that. And that almost killed me. Stop. You can't roll through that? Excuse me? I rolled. I was like, okay, I'm gonna roll through this one. And then I did that, and it just apparently, like, nah, you don't get to roll today. Excuse me? That didn't even hit my counter. Huh. Mr. Saturn, save me. That didn't kill me this time. These attacks also apparently aren't doing that much shield damage. That one exploded on nothing. I'm gonna go fucking insane at this boss fight. How are you supposed to fight this guy? I can see his attacks coming, but there's nothing I can do to dodge them. Except go between his legs, I suppose. I don't know. Okay, use the soccer ball. Ow. That's new. Get out of here. Oh my god, finally. Looks like if you don't have a counter, you die. Yeah, kind of. This is also, again, hardest difficulty. This is almost... Why does every attack almost kill you instantly? Because that's how they did difficulty scaling back in the day. Good difficulty scaling is hard. It's much easier to do bad difficulty scaling and just make it so if you get hit once, you fucking die. You know? Alright, and that was that level. Jesus. I'm gonna actually take the opportunity to talk about at least one other thing that that I wanted to go through. Something horrible happening right now we just didn't notice. Well, there's a lot of horrible things that happen in the world and we don't always notice. Probably heard the clacking of my keyboard. You know what? I'll talk about that one thing next time. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, something interesting happened. I guess I could talk about this. I got a little thing in the mail, a little piece of paper that says like, or that said that I am. What was the wording like? Apparently, I'm eligible to be part of a class action lawsuit. I actually did. I signed up to be a recipient of some of the like whatever alternate benefits they offered and stuff from a data breach. I got this slip of paper, and it was like, yeah, your data was leaked in this data breach, right? Like there was this institution. It was a university that I remember I had visited when I was in high school, long time ago. Apparently, my data had been leaked in a data breach, and they were like, yeah, because of this data breach and the security protocol and whatever, that like the ethical violations that this university committed in holding on to this data and like releasing it and selling it and whatnot, we filed a suit against them. And we've actually, they sent me the slip of paper because they won the suit. And so they were like, now it's time for them to pay up. And we're sort of reaching out to people with the benefits and stuff. And so they were like, there's a unique like ID and code and whatever. It was legit. That you enter on the website specifically for the class action suit. And I remember being like, why am I part of this class action suit? And then realizing, oh, that's why. This university had taken my data without my permission and held onto it for 7 years. That university has had and likely been selling my data to somebody else for 7 years. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, actually, I want a cut of that. I want to, even if it's just a tiny little cut, I want a little cut of those like class action suit winnings, because I do feel like that does feel pretty scummy. Like I didn't give them permission to hold on to my data and sell it to all like third party such and such. I didn't go to this university. I applied. I toured. I was like, you don't fucking like. Nah, that's my data. You have no business holding on to my data. Somebody who was never like, never had much recourse and whatever, and didn't even have really a relationship with the college apart from I applied and toured. That was it. And I think I got accepted as well, but I didn't really have a personal rapport with anybody there. It was just really ethically concerning that it was like, yeah, by the way, this higher education institution has been holding on to your data since you were in high school and has been selling it to random people. Like, great. For all I know, they're the reason I had to get my debit card replaced recently. Awesome. You hear what happened with Honey? Reminds me of that. Yes, I did hear what happened with Honey, and it's not quite the same thing, but yes, similar practice in a sort of scummy use of data that nobody really consented to. On the receiving end of it. So at some point, I think I'm gonna get a small check. The check's only like $50 or something, but it was interesting to be like, oh shit, I guess I'm part of this class action suit. And in fact, the way I knew I was, because they were like, yeah, the reason you're getting this slip of paper is because we also sent you one last year, that you were part of this class action suit that we went, back when we were filing it against this university for selling data. And then now this was apparently the second slip of paper. They were like, we won the lawsuit. You're getting this because we sent you a slip of paper a year ago, or about a year ago. And now it's time for them to pay up. Just an interesting thing that you don't see every day. Yeah, it's all about the Benjamins. A lot of universities tie this back into interesting politics stuff. A lot of universities operate more as like investment firms and like private capital firms, or like what was it? What's the term? Fuck. Private equity. That's what it is. A lot of universities operate in the United States, especially because private ownership. They operate a lot as like private equity firms that just happen to also offer university classes and accreditation. Uh, it's not good, and it's kind of an often overlooked part of the capital classes is the very wealthy university donors and like administrators and stuff. Happened in the era of Trump now. Sorry, my bad. I meant the era of Elon Musk president. So true. Yeah, it's gonna be quite a bumpy ride with effectively shadow president Elon Musk. It's gonna be rough. Anyways, I'm gonna try to remember some of the stuff that I was talking about for next time. And I will see you guys then. In the meantime, I think I'm going to raid Cody Schwab, my man. I don't know if he's watching or playing Melee because there's an ad on right now. Oh, no, he's playing. Okay, cool. Nice. Ah, you're not supposed to see that. Do that. That's not right. Yeah, very briefly, you may have seen the mentally ill number of tabs I have open, but it's all good. Twitch does some goofy stuff sometimes. I gotta say, that stream title of Cody's, the last time I rated him, was an absolute banger. The fucking... Their name, but then their name in air quotes also. Incredibly funny stuff. How do you know if somebody has ADHD if they have a billion tabs open? I literally have written down for one of my priorities on my schedule that I need to start clearing those tabs. To give you an idea. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. It has been a joy. Much more fun than last time. Glad I got that one issue sorted out.